Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. So, the Eagles and the Broncos game just wrapped up live from Lincoln Financial Field, or the Link as they call it. And the Eagles have to be probably in 2025 the most unserious football franchise in all of the NFL. How do you blow a 17-3 lead, right? Well, I know why. It's because once again, you know, the Eagles, they come out, they dominate, they jump out to a 17-3 lead. And then in the second half of the game, they decide to get conservative, right? It's almost like they forgot or they forget how to play winning football. And it just makes you think, do the Eagles not have on offense, do they not have any plays where they can consistently get wide receivers open so Jalen Hurts can hit wide receivers, right? Look, I'm an Eagles fan, but I'm not going to sit up here and cap and say that Jalen Hurts throws wide receivers open. He don't. He waits for them to come open, and most times he's holding on to the ball too long because he's waiting for his wide receivers to come open. It is what it is with Jalen Hurts, right? But you know, your team, your coaches, your coaching staff, your offensive coaching staff should have some type of plays where they know Jalen Hurts and the wide receivers can consistently, you know, make that throw and catch. Jalen Hurts can make that throw. Devontae Smith or um, AJ Brown is going to be able to get open consistently on those plays, right? But it don't seem like the Eagles have those, and they just can they jump out to a lead. They get consistent in the second half, and they say, "Hey, defense, we got a lead. Go out there and play and put this game away." And it's just tough being an Eagles fan right now because you know how good this team is. This team is loaded with some of the top position players on both sides of the ball: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker core, defensive backs, cornerback, safeties, right? Kicker. This team is loaded with talent, but it's almost like they're out there sleepwalking. It's almost like they're just not a serious franchise right now. And the coaches, to me, just keep fumbling the game plan week after week after week. We seen how last week they was tearing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ass up, right? They was tearing them up, and then they just got conservative and they let the Buccaneers jump back into the game, and it got really close. They was able to pull out the victory, but you knew if you play with your food, if you play with fire, you're gonna get burned, right? And we it happened, right? The Eagles lose 21-17, and you almost this team deserved to lose to the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos was coming off a short week. They had to fly across the country from Denver to play the Eagles in Philadelphia, and so that team was tired. They was kind of out there listless, right? The Eagles was playing with their food, and they woke up when they saw that they had a chance. When they scored that touchdown, they said, "Oh, we got a chance." The Eagles not doing very much on offense. The defense kind of out here just being lackadaisical, and we got a chance, and that's exactly what happened. In the NFL, you cannot afford to play conservative when you're only winning 17-3. This is pro teams, everybody on both sides of the ball for both teams. But talking about Denver Broncos, are good players. They're elite players. They made it to the NFL, so you can't allow a pro team to stick around. Like a well coached team, like a Sean Payton team, you can't allow them to stick around for all of the game. I just don't understand why the Eagles didn't go for the juggler and put the Denver Broncos out of their misery, because that was a tired team. They was just ready to get blew out and get back on the plane and go back to Denver. But the Eagles failed to do that. Very, very, very unserious team right now. And it just bit us, the team, in the ass. And that's what happens when you play with your food and you don't go for the nail in the coffin, quote unquote, when you're playing against a team like the Denver Broncos. Now the Eagles got to turn around and get ready for the New York Giants, who lost today to the Saints. They jumped out with a big lead on the Saints too. It was like 14-0. I was watching that game. I live in Louisiana, and I wasn't able to watch the Eagles game. I had to go to different Eagles groups and fan pages to see people that were streaming the game right on their iPhone from their TV. And I was watching that Saints game, and the Giants jumped out on the Saints 14-0, and the Saints came back because um, Jackson Dart had a lot of turnovers. I think he threw for 3 or 4 interceptions, maybe 3 interceptions. He threw for a lot of interceptions. Scatterboo fumbled. And so the Saints, who was winless, was able to get their first victory of the season. And so now you got the New York Giants and you got the Eagles, both coming off of short weeks because they got to turn around and play on Thursday. And, these are going to be two teams that's going to be tired. Plus, it is a divisional game, right? So, um, the Giants are not a good team, but they're going to come out and give the Eagles the best that they got because this is the divisional game. They're coming off an L where they was up 14-0 and they don't want to try to lose back-to-back games, and the Eagles damn sure don't want to lose back-to-back games to a Giants team who is, like I said, a divisional foe and who the Eagles, normally sweep year after year. They play twice a year, and the Eagles normally sweep them and dominate them in those victories. So the Eagles are damn sure not trying to drop 2 games in a row and have the fan base really on their neck. So hopefully the Eagles can learn from this mistake because it was a mistake, right? They shouldn't have lost to the Denver Broncos. So this was a mistake, and hopefully the Eagles learn from it, come out short week versus the Giants, and able to get a convincing, dominant win, right, versus this Giants team. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. As always, it's good to get on here and, talk, make these videos, and I appreciate all of the support. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you can stay up to date on all of the latest drops here on this channel. All right, y'all. Until next time.